Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friday night showcase at RE's Tavern. Thank you so much for supporting live comedy here in Denver, Colorado. Some of Denver's finest young comics are going to come up and do some time tonight. And then Bear Quarterbaum is going to come up and close the show for us. Very, very funny. Bear's website, by the way, is thatonepothead.com, right? Okay, all spelled out, thatonepothead.com. That's Bear's website. Well, you'll see it on his chest when he comes up. So there you go. Welcome, people who are online watching. Welcome to the RE's Tavern Comedy Showcase. Thank you so much for coming out, for watching the show live. Thank you, we appreciate it. We have viewers around the world. We are sponsored by Maria Naven Lassiter. If you're watching online, you can see that. I know it's right there. Right there. You can see that. Great Way, thank you so much. With Great Way Real Estate, and her phone number is right there. So if you're going to buy or sell a home in the Denver area, please give her a call. We appreciate her sponsorship. Thank you so much for Maria Naven Lassiter. There you go. Okay, I don't host the shows. I just bring up the comics, and they pretty much run the show themselves. I just provide all the stuff you need to do a show, the microphones and whatnot. So tonight, yeah, thank you. Oh, stop, thank you. Tonight, our host tonight is a very funny young man. I like him. You'll like him too. He's another black guy. Don't be surprised at home. So, just so you know, that's a rare thing here at RE's Tavern. Sorry. No, anyway, but it'll be fun. Let me bring it to the stage. Right there, Anthony Armstrong. Right there, Anthony Armstrong.
What's going on, Aries? Welcome. Thank everybody that came to support live comedy. It's very important that you guys come out and support us. Without you guys, there's no us. We got some really good comics for you tonight. I'm going to be hosting, I'm going to be bringing them up. But I'm going to warm you guys up first so they can knock you dead, okay? Let me see what I got going on. I've been trying to get back in shape, but it's hard. Because you got to eat right, I hired a nutritionist. She wanted me to eat food like kale. And I tried it. But you know what kale tastes like? Take off your shoe, lick the bottom of it. That's kale. Next time you go to the bathroom, suck on the door handle. That's what kale tastes like. It's nasty as hell. But you got to do it. You got to eat right, But it's hard to eat right because they put a lot of bullshit in our food these days. Have you paid attention to the ingredients in your food lately? I was eating some fruit snacks the other day. I looked on the back, and it said, made with real colors. The hell are real colors? And who the hell is using fake colors? That's what I really want to know. But you got to do it. And they want you to eat these all-natural, 100% organic diets now because they say the steroids and the antibiotics that they put in meat isn't good for the human body. But I say, what if I want to gain some muscle mass and I got the flu? You know what? That joke gonna hit you in the car. I swear it is. It's smart and funny. But you got to do it though, man. You got to eat right if you want to get in shape. I was watching the Steve Harvey show the other day. They had these guys on there. They own a restaurant in Memphis. They have a dish where they put baked macaroni and cheese inside fried chicken. How the fuck am I supposed to eat right when you got Lucifer out here doing shit like that? Because that ain't nothing but the devil. I may be able to resist the macaroni and cheese, and I may be able to resist the fried chicken, but together, I don't have that type of willpower. No black man does. Thank you. She knows what's going on. You got to do it though, man. I'm trying to drop some weight. I hate gaining weight because I gain all my weight in my hips and in my ass. That's bullshit because I'm a man. And I like to talk shit too. It's hard to talk shit to a person when your thighs rubbing together and they sweating. No one's gonna take me seriously if I'm talking shit and I'm looking all voluptuous. I'm a damn man. That's why I don't commit crimes. I can't take my thick ass to jail. Don't get me wrong. I can handle myself. I'm not trying to be the Kim Kardashian of cell block C. I'm not trying to be the jail's tip drill. That's why I don't wear jeans. All I wear is sweatpants and cargo pants. You don't know how it feels as a man to not be able to wear jeans because your thighs too fucking thick and you got to jump to get in them like a woman. That's bullshit. I'm a man. Got to do it though, man. I got to lose weight. I got to lose weight because I like to have sex with the lights on. And I want my lady to like what she's looking at, you know? I don't need her looking at me with the face while she's doing it. That's not helping my self-esteem. And plus, I don't think my breasts should be bouncing more than hers while it's happening. It's not the way God intended. I knew I needed to lose weight when I filmed myself having sex. It messed me up because I never seen my own ass from the back. I didn't like what I seen. It's crazy. Let's see, I got high for the first time a month ago. I don't like to smoke, so I've never smoked weed. But now you got the edibles, so I'm like, I'm gonna eat the weed. I shouldn't have ate the fucking weed. A friend of mine brought me these cookies, right? I ate the cookies and I sat on the couch, I'm waiting to get high. An hour goes by, nothing happens. 2 hours go by, nothing happens. 3 hours go by, I'm like, damn, am I immune to the weed? I'm not immune to the weed. I was high as fuck. I was so high, I didn't know I was high. And that's dangerous because I was making crackhead decisions, but I thought they were rational. I didn't realize exactly how high I was until I looked to my right and Winnie the Pooh was sitting right next to me talking shit. I looked, I said, Winnie the Pooh? He said, yeah, now give me some Teddy Grahams, bitch. I said, goddamn, Winnie the Pooh? I was high as hell. Moral of that story, don't eat your drugs, smoke them like normal people. Let's see, I'm in a relationship now, that's crazy. I've always had troubles in relationships. And I mean, it's not my fault, I'm a good guy, but my dick is evil. It talks to me, it makes me do things, you know? Like this one time, I got tricked into cheating on my girlfriend. It can happen. This other woman came up to me and told me her coochie tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios. Now I'm not stupid, but I'm curious. Think of it like this. If somebody came here right now and said, watch out, it's a dragon behind you, you know dragons don't exist. But you gonna look just to be sure. I had to be sure. It's crazy, man. I think I was just afraid of commitment. But I think everyone's a little afraid of commitment, you know? When I was younger, whenever I was in a relationship and I felt like I was falling for the girl, I'd come up with any reason to break up with her. Like this one time, I broke up with this one girl because her middle toe was longer than all the rest of her other toes. I made a big deal about this shit too. I was like, oh, so you weren't gonna tell me that your toes throwing up gang signs, huh? You was just gonna keep that to yourself. Thought this relationship was about trust. I had to dump her. But now I'm in a relationship, I'm doing better. And I live with my girl, and that's weird as hell. Because when you live with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, you gotta do things that you're not accustomed to when you live alone. Like bathe every day. I don't bathe every day. The smell of my own nuts don't bother me. But now I got her nose to think about, you know? And I gotta be ready to teabag on demand. Can't teabag my girlfriend with dirty balls. That's not what love is. You gotta watch what you say to your girl. You don't wanna say the wrong thing. Me and my girl was watching this horror movie. This guy kidnapped this girl, psychopath, kidnapped this girl, took her and locked her in his house. Her boyfriend goes to rescue her. He goes up in the house, battles through the house, gets her. On the way out the house, she loses this ring that her grandmother gave her. When they're about to get to safety, she looks down the hand, she goes, oh my God, I lost my ring, and runs her dumb ass back in the house. I got a little caught up in the movie, and I looked at it, and the first thing that came out my mouth is, women so fucking stupid. I didn't even look at my girl because I could feel her burning a hole through the side of my head. And I was just like, damn. I was like, that's crazy, right? She was up there like, I don't know, you know, I'm a woman and women are stupid as fuck, so I don't know what's going on. I'm like, God damn it. I had to deal with that shit for 3 weeks. I'd go up to her like, hey, baby, you want something to eat? I don't know, you know, I'm a woman and women are stupid as fuck, and I don't know if I'm gonna eat. I just think I'm gonna starve to death. Gotta watch what you say, man. Man, I'm originally from Chicago. Moved out here a few years ago. Damn, you know? I had that typical black mom. You know, the one that used to give you lots of love and beat your ass at the same time. That one. I had that mom, when she got mad at you, she'd hit you with the closest object to her. My mom whooped my ass once with a wind chime. It hurt like hell, but it sounded so beautiful. That's how it was though, man. You messed up in our house, you got your ass whooped. And I was always messing up. I got tired of getting my ass whooped. I thought about running away. But then I remembered, nobody goes looking for little black kids when they go missing. We don't get Amber Alerts. Matter of fact, the name lets you know it's not for little black kids. Amber Alert, you don't know one black person named Amber. If you know a black person named Amber, they're in witness protection. And you shouldn't trust Black Amber because she's a fucking snitch. All right, guys, that's it for me. But we gonna bring up your next comic. Y'all give him some love. Go on, get hype a little bit for him, man. Bring him to the stage. Coming to the stage is Chris Stafford.
Hey, you guys. My name's Roger Stafford, actually, that's okay. You guys, something you gotta get used to, I guess. You guys, I grew up in the Midwest, and a lot of people, when they first meet me, they kinda think that maybe I grew up on a farm or something. I guess I give off sort of this, like, farm kid vibe a little bit. Like, I have this really old gray wool coat. It's got a checkered pattern on it, and it's really ugly. And I wear it a lot, I love it. But someone was making fun of it recently. They were saying it looks like I made it by hand, it looks like I'm Amish. And that made me laugh, but then I found myself getting a little defensive. I was like, no, my dad gave it to me. I used to wear it while I would chop wood, because we heated our house with a wood-burning stove, and it was good material for carrying bundles of wood around the yard. And I realized I'm doing nothing to convince these people I'm not Amish. Like, I just sound more and more Amish with it. I might as well have just been like, no, I'm not Amish. I'm not Amish. We just got all our vegetables from my mom's garden, and we had an open door policy with farm animals, and I'm not vaccinated for anything. That would have worked just as well. Oh, you know what? Fine, you guys. This is my Rumspringa. I'm just checking out the big wide world. My parents gave me $200 in silver, told me to buy a house. If anyone has a horse or a covered wagon I could borrow, I need to get back to the Midwest real soon. You guys, a lot of people growing up had bad relationships with their dad, so they're always looking for father figures later in life. I had a bad relationship with my mom, so I'm just always looking for mother figures. That's just me going to a lot of greenhouses and bakeries asking older women for their opinion on my posture. You know, Stacy, you seem like a real sweet lady. Now what do you say we take those begonias back to my place and decorate for the nearest upcoming holiday? That's what I'm into. I realized recently that the only reason I'm getting a haircut at this point is to have a woman run her fingers through my hair. That's all I'm paying for, you know? Some guys go to strip clubs. That's not really my thing. I just go to supercuts. We're both paying pink-haired girls of indeterminate age to pretend they like us for an hour. That's about it. When I moved from Illinois to Denver here, you guys, moved here about 8 or 9 months ago. It's my first time living away from home, away from my parents. And, you know, it just hit me today that I am never going to the dentist again. Like, that funding has run out. My teeth are fucked from here on out, you guys. It's over. Since I've moved here, I grew up in a really religious home, and since I've moved here, my parents have really been enjoying just giving my phone number to passing Christians. Just like anybody traveling through that might be able to witness to me. Like someone's just gonna drive past, hurl a tract at my door, and then I'm back to Bible college. Is what they're expecting to happen. My parents are building their own missionary team in Illinois, except I'm the mission field. They just think I'm the country of Ecuador. Like they've never been there, no intention to go, but they know it needs Jesus. And they're gonna keep sending people. They're gonna keep pouring money into that. So they gave my number to this dentist named Lloyd. And I knew Lloyd growing up, and he always kind of fancied himself like a father figure to me. But anytime he tried to sit me down and give me sage advice, he'd just end up telling me about all the acid he did on an organic peach farm in the 60s. I'm like, you're a dentist now. This is not convincing me of anything. So that was kind of an awkward conversation, because at one point he was like, so your dad tells me you do stand-up comedy. And I was like, yeah, and I kind of explained the Denver scene to him a little bit. And he's like, well, the Bible says there's a time to laugh. And I was like, I guess that's the closest I'm ever going to come to doing the Lord's work on stage, you guys. That's it. You guys, I don't like ghost hunting shows, because I feel like they always try to catch the ghosts using technology, which is weird. Like, why would you be able to detect a spirit form using an electronic device? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if technology can detect ghosts, does that mean robots can see ghosts? Like when your dog's looking out the window barking at nothing, is it the same as when a Roomba gets stuck in the middle of the floor? Like it's just some passing ghoul blocking its path? I don't know. Here's a fun little joke, you guys. Fun little one. I want to write a book about the history of a specific type of car and call it an autobiography. That joke's called I'm Not Going to College. Do you guys think crazy people ever have to give themselves a pep talk in the morning? Like an insane person wakes up and he's just like, I just don't know if I can do it today. Puts his hands on the side of the sink, looks in the mirror, and he's like, hey, nobody else gets the letters from the lizard people controlling your life on puppet strings. But you check that mailbox every morning. Now get out there and try to convince some passing traffic of that. Just yell it at the interstate until they understand. That's my plan B, you guys. If this doesn't work out, I'm just gonna scream at a highway. I think that'd be fun. You guys, have you guys ever heard of the fetish for like having sex in public, you know? We're not into it, but it's a thing. Well, I realized recently as I was doing the research for this bit that I don't like watching people have sex in public. But I really like watching the people watch people have sex in public. There's always a person that had no idea they were going to be in a porn that day. Someone's getting blown in the back of a Home Depot display kitchen section. Somebody else is just trying to buy cabinets. That's where I come in, you guys. Literally. It's my favorite part of the video. It's the best. You guys. So yeah, I moved from Illinois about 8 or 9 months ago. I was dating a girl in Illinois before I came out here. And it was my first girlfriend, you know, when I was 18. We started dating on my 18th birthday. My parents were really religious, wouldn't let me date before that. So she was my first, like, everything. And we dated for about 3 weeks. And I realized I didn't really like her. So I told her I loved her. And then I moved to Denver. And that, feel really bad about that, you guys. I work at a carpet cleaners, you guys. And I was working in someone's house the other day, and they had an exercise bike. And on the handle of the exercise bike was a roll of toilet paper. And I was just like, wow, that is a really intense workout regimen right there. Like, that guy is trying. Do you guys remember the last time you pedaled so hard you had to take a shit? That man is working at it. Does he take all of his exercising that seriously? Like, you know, he runs until he vomits, he bikes until he has to poop. Like, what bodily fluids are involved with lifting weights for that man? Like, if he, you know, someone comes up to him, he's like, do you even lift, bro? I lift till I come, yo! And he's like, no, it's actually a real problem. I was helping someone move a dryer into their house the other day. It's kind of the worst superpower. Well, check the notes. You guys, so yeah, I was something else about work. I was working in a mega church the other day out by Red Rocks. And I'm not a big fan of church. but I really don't like mega churches. Like, they seem like really fake, disingenuous places to me. Mega churches are like religion 2.0. Like, the pastor doesn't end on a prayer, he just asks the congregation to follow him on Twitter. You know, there are no Bibles, it's just a bunch of iPads, and everything after the flood is subscription-based. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. Hey, my name's Roger Stafford, you guys. Why don't we give it up for Anthony Armstrong?
Give it up for Roger Stafford. Right. Damn, man. I've been calling him Chris all night, too. He didn't even say nothing. That's why I like white people. Y'all take everything in stride. I like that shit. Okay, now coming to the stage is Chris. This is Chris right here. Come on up here, boy.
All right. How is everybody? It's Friday, so I hope you're drinking like I am. Getting high, I am. So I'm gonna talk about things that just go on my mind, so roll with me. Let's take this journey. You too, there at home, sitting at your computer, not watching porn for once. Maybe twice. So today I had to leave work, and I was thinking about it. Next time I call into work, I just want to use this excuse right here, verbatim. Yes, I'm not coming into work today. Insert your own excuse. So deal with it. I mean, I think it'd be fun. I want to see how far that stretches. Like, you're calling in, you're being responsible, and you're just letting them decide how they feel about you. Like, hey, so he's not coming into work today because there was a burning building and he saved 13 kittens. That paints me to be a really nice guy. Or, on the opposite end, yeah, he's not coming into work today because he decided not to. It's probably plan B right there. I didn't want to go. No, not today. I had real reasons, so that works. I recently am single, so opposite of you. Congratulations to you, but get out of Dodge. No, I like being single, actually. But I told her that I didn't like children early on in the relationship. The worst thing to tell somebody, I guess, that likes children. I told her that I didn't like children and I never wanted them. I was like, prepare yourself. If you want a relationship with me, I don't want children. I'm too selfish. They cost money. I like money, but I like spending it on me or drugs for me, whatever. So yeah, but I told her I didn't like kids, and she's this kind of woman that has like 30 friends that have children, and so this rumor spread throughout the friend community. And I meet her friend, and like as soon as I walk in the door, she's like, "Oh, you don't like children." Like I'm this anti-Christ of kids. Like I want to fucking destroy them, and like, oh, it's so wrong. Like, don't paint that picture of me. Like, I respect you if you have kids. That's fine. That's your choice. Deal with it. And if you, every kid gets unruly. It happens. I know. I used to date a girl with kids. That's why I know I don't want them. So yeah, I just don't like them. And she just painted this bad picture of me. And it's like, hey, before you actually make a first, you only get like, the one connection to meet somebody. Before you get that connection of mean faded towards me already, decide for yourself that I'm a piece of shit. I mean, yes, meeting me in like 5 minutes, you'll realize that, but still, decide for yourself. So, okay. This is another one of my thoughts. Every time I walk through an alleyway, why is there a used condom in the alleyway? Like, why? I mean, I know why. Everybody knows why. But, like, if you're having sex in an alleyway, like, come on, you're probably up against the dumpster. And it's probably not daytime, so it's nighttime, so it's more risky. But you're using a condom. And it's like, we could get tag teamed in a minute from behind by somebody. And he's not going to use protection, so we're fucked either way. But it's like, if you're having sex in a condom, are you really that concerned for your safety? Really? I'm just saying. All right, I'll take you down a dark journey here. I'm going to use this chair. Sorry. All right. I probably believe there's 90% of us out there that don't like taking the boom boom in public. Like, a public restroom is not a place to go number 2. But when you do, I'm going to take you through a reenactment through my head. All right. It's coast is clear. Nobody else is in here. All right, I'm doing it. As soon as you get comfortable. Really had to go too. Come on, man, just fucking leave already. Come on. No, don't do it. No, you can't sit next to me. I'm out of here. Oh, okay, he's just being. Nobody's here. No, that's just the way I feel. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take you down the whole rabbit hole. That's just gross. I do wash my hands. I hope you guys like that at home. I hope you weren't eating. I'm sorry. So this is like a current event that's happening. They're deciding to do it. They're taking applications. A mission to Mars. I applaud the idea. That's great. It's a 9-month journey, only to survive for like 90 days on the actual planet. Like, hey, get your shit together, because when you land, you have to build this really fucking fast, because you have a 90-day life expectancy. Who are we getting to sign up for this? I'm just saying, like, I'm like, hey, I like life. I don't care. But who's doing that? I mean, I applaud them, but, like, we should get, like, people that don't, you know, matter. I'm just saying. Like, we'll give them drugs. Like, I think it'd be fun, because, like, we don't have that cryo sleep genesis thing that sci-fi likes to use. So we don't have that. So I think, like, just give them drugs, and they'd be fine, but only give them that 9-month supply for the whole thing. The only problem is, like, the withdrawals. I don't think anybody's going to be wanting to build anything, and then they might just die from the withdrawals. That might happen. Sorry. It's a little morbid. Sorry. But it's my style. Yeah. So, I guess I'll just leave you with this. I used to like design clothing when I was a kid, and I made this shirt my mom wasn't really proud of. You'll understand in a second. And the front, it said I wasn't my mom's first choice. And on the back, it had a picture of a wire coat hanger. Yeah. But no, underneath it said, but I survived, so fuck it. Anyways, I'm Chris. Thank you. Give it up for everybody else that's going to be on stage. Anthony, what's up? And thank you, Aries.
Give it up for Chris. Give it up for Chris. Coming back, Chris? Chris don't like kids.
No.
I like kids. Other people's kids. Like, I just want to be able to return the kids at the end of the night when I'm done playing with them. You know, I just don't want to take them home with me. I got stuff to do. All right, now. Now it's time for a little bit of eye candy. We have a beautiful young lady coming to the stage, Miss Magnolia. Give it up.
Thank you. Hi. This is like the hardest thing. Okay. Hi, I'm Magnolia. I just turned 18, so I moved to Denver this past school year. I've been living on my own for the first time. And before this, I lived with my parents in Falcon, Colorado. And now I live on West Colfax. And if I had anything to say about that move, it's that I should have just researched my neighborhood a little bit better than that. Do you know how much it sucks when you accidentally move to the ghetto? Like, I don't check the weather if I want to know how cold it's gonna be. I don't have to. You know what I do? I go into my stairwell and I count the number of homeless people who are sleeping. Anything more than 2 and you're gonna need to bundle. I get really scientific though. Sometimes I go to the building next door to mine and I compare results. I'm like, hey, I've got 3, how about you? Better layer. Yeah, I am 18. It's kind of a weird age because I am an adult in a lot of ways. Like I can pay rent and I can go to prison if I fuck up badly enough. But I'm still a kid in a lot of ways. Like I don't know how to send a package and I don't know how to optimize the settings on my dryer for perfectly soft clothes. It feels like I'm wearing cardboard. Man, though, that prison one, right? That's some real shit. I'm trying to run up the statute of limitations on all of my theft right now. Is anybody else in the same boat? You seem like the crowd for that. It's hard, though. It's really hard. It's like trying to go on a diet. 5 days in, I'm thinking, all right, 6 years of this won't be so bad. But then J. Crew releases their spring collection, and I say, well, that's all right, I can start on Monday. Speaking of the law, it's illegal to eat snow in Florida. Did you know that? Yeah, it's true. I have a theory about that, and I think it's because too many people in Florida have been tricked into eating bath salts. It's like a real danger over there. I had to do something. So everyone I've noticed, you know, everyone is really passionate about their favorite music. And I think that's really cool in such a cynical age. But I feel like too it goes the other way. Like people are really passionate about what they hate. They think that music that they don't like doesn't have value, that it shouldn't exist. I hate it. I don't like it. Fuck them. And it's like, that's kind of selfish. That's really, like, just because you don't like it doesn't mean that someone in the world doesn't. Like, okay, example, Nickelback. I know they're not the most well-received band, but you tell me, if Nickelback wasn't writing music right now, what would my dad's workout playlist look like? Talk about my job a little bit. I work in customer service, and for those of you who aren't in college, customer service means that for $8.23 an hour, I'll be your bitch. Don't worry though, don't worry. I was in an abusive relationship before I got this job. It was a very easy transition. Oh man. Working in customer service, I think about my life a lot and, you know, my past, more specifically, you know, how my parents raised me. I think they really meant well when they were raising me, but some of their lessons were a little misguided too. Like, my parents raised me to believe that words like please and thank you are like magical talismans that are gonna get you closer to what you want in life. But me working in customer service, I know that's not true. You guys know what the magic word is, right? Like, you're at the counter, you're not getting what you want. It's cunt. You say that, and then I give you the shit for free. It's what I've been trained to do. No. Oh man, I really think people should just be a little bit nicer and recognize what a privilege it is to have expendable cash that you can just throw away on bullshit like skinny mochas. Not that anybody asked, because it's a rhetorical show, but like, do you know how pointless a skinny mocha is? Yeah, they call it skinny, but that's an oxymoron. It doesn't mean anything. Like, there's this big misconception going around right now that if you get non-fat milk, it somehow excuses the quarter cup of Hershey's chocolate syrup that is also an integral part of that drink. Like, why would it? That's not how nutrition works. Like, you have no idea. So many people come up to me and they'll order like a vanilla latte or whatever, and then at the end they'll tack on, better make it skinny, I'll be good today. Like, bitch, you're not being good, you're being misled by a marketing scam. That's what you're being. Like, you know what we should do? Like, you can order non-fat milk, that's cool, but it's not skinny anymore. It's silly bitch. Can I get a silly bitch caramel frappuccino? Yeah, no problem. Have fun spiking your blood sugar. So, I don't know. Not that I don't take it personally or whatever. It's not like I really think that people are, dumb because they don't quite understand how that thing works. But it's just like, you can't get mad at me for making your drink wrong. You think that an Izzy is better than a soda because of a shitty graphic of a strawberry on the can. All right, I'm gonna stop talking about work for a second and talk about my other favorite subject. Who smokes pot? Yeah. Hello, Denver. I think Denver is kind of like hurt me though, because I like to romanticize the idea of moving back in with my parents someday. But I don't know, like, how do you do that when you only know how to buy weed in ounces? That relationship is gonna suffer, I feel like. But I do love to smoke weed. I get high all the time. I smoke so much weed. I have a limit though. I have one limit, and that's work. I never get high at work because I tried it once. And I traumatized myself into 8 hours of sobriety every day. Here's how it happened. I was working front of house, which is customer service, and then they moved me a few months ago to back of house, which is I make the food that people order. And to work back of house, I have to be at work at 6 in the morning. I have to clock in and be ready to start at 6 a.m., which means I have to drive to work at 5:30 a.m., which means I have to wake up at fuck o'clock in the morning. So I decided to get high. And so it's 5:35, and I'm on my way to work, and I have this hash pen, and I'm just digging the fattest rips. I am so fucking stoned at 5:35 a.m. I have this hash pen, and I was hitting this thing harder than a police officer likes to hit historically disadvantaged minorities. I know, we should really do something about that. But, so, I was pretty fucking stoned. And I love being stoned, so at 5:45, I'm having a really good time, guys. Like, things are going really well. Till I open that bakery door, and then all of a sudden, I'm in a room, and I'm surrounded by responsibilities. It's like I was at a really cool party, and then I woke up the next morning and I just realized I was probably pregnant. That party's fucking over. So is every other party for the next 18 years. That's how I felt when I went to work that morning. But I give myself I did really well until 6:30 a.m. when the kitchen manager sent me out to the walk-in refrigerator to grab a tray of raw frittatas that we had to bake. And so I get out there, I get the frittatas, I stand up, and I go to back up with the tray, and from behind me, I hear a soft thud. And I'm so high that I don't register what's happened yet. And so I turn around and I see what I've done, but I don't realize what I've done. So in my head, I pick up the frittatas, turn around, and I think, oh no, how'd that cake get fucked up? And then, I figured it out. I figured out how the cake got fucked up. And let me tell you about this cake, because it wasn't just any cake. It was a custom 3-tiered wedding cake, and it's in my walk-in because it's scheduled for pickup today. And I just knocked it over. And so I had a fucking panic attack, like you do when you knock over a $350 wedding cake that's scheduled for pickup today. I was really worried about losing my job. We're all just a wedding cake away from living off of quarters from strangers, if you think about it. So I made a decision. I went straight inside. I didn't look at anybody. I carried the pan right to the kitchen. I wiped the frosting off, and I turned to the kitchen manager and I said, hey, there's a cake in the walk-in, and it's fucked up, and I don't know what happened to it. That's why I never get high at work anymore. Thank you guys so much.
Give it up for Magnolia. Man. Quick note right quick. The kitchen closes at 8:30. That's like in 10 minutes, so get your orders in if you want something to eat. But back to Magnolia. Jesus Christ. She really surprised me. I thought she was gonna get up here and talk about like sunshine, rainbows, and kittens and shit. But she lives in the hood and she loves to get stoned. I like her. It's cool as shit. All right, moving right along, though. Your next comic coming to the stage. Y'all give it up for him while he's coming up here. Jeremy Feiser.
Hey, Ari. Aries, how we doing tonight? Thank you, Eugene, for doing this. This is awesome. It's the only live streaming show every week. It's beautiful. In the world. All right. So a little bit about myself, guys. I just turned 25. Just had my 25th birthday. I'm halfway there. But the day before my birthday, I got a text message from my mom at 8:53 p.m. It said this: at this very moment, 25 years ago, I began having my first contractions with you. And that's awkward enough as it is, but my mom just got a smartphone and she loves doing emoticons now, so she finished it up with a smiley face. So I'm kind of nervous about that text message I'm going to get in 3 more months, 9 months and 25 years ago. I trusted your alcoholic father to pull out in a shitty $30 motel in Camden, New Jersey. Smiley face. I'm a little disappointed that at 25 at this point in my life, I already look like the lead singer from Blues Traveler. I don't want to give you guys a runaround, but the hook will bring you back. That's so stupid. It's my favorite joke. Just 90s lyrics. So I was unemployed for the past 2 months, finally got a job. It's not that great though. I'm doing the same thing I did when I was 18, which is I work at Elitch Gardens, I run the games department. But those 2 months were terrible, mostly just because of all the terrible interviews I had to go on. Like one time I went on an interview up in Westminster, and I got there, and as soon as I opened the door, there was a cutout of Michael Scott, which was played by Steve Carell, and it just said that we sell Dunder Mifflin paper on the sign. I was like, oh man, this office is really cool. I love the office. This is going to be great. And then I get into the interview, and I asked the guy, I was like, oh, so what does your company do? He's like, oh, we sell Dunder Mifflin paper. They sell a fictional product. That's not, like, I walked out of that interview, like, right then. I was done with it. And I started to think about, like, other fictional companies from TV shows that are still around. Like, is Acme responsible for everything bad that's happening? They're just blowing up shit. Like, is there a Sterling Cooper that just has 1-800, those divorce attorneys with the 1-800 numbers? That's what Don Draper's doing now. Or like, are there still AOL salesmen? There are. There's still 2 million people that use AOL dial-up. I don't understand that. I think that it's just got to be one major group that's still running that. It's just a bunch of hoarders that kept all the free floppy disks, the free 60-minute disks from the 90s. They're just going on Alta Vista to get to those Sum 41 message boards to have a good time and ask girls or ASL. I don't know, but back to the amusement park. It's not fun. Like, amusement parks are you're supposed to go there to have a great time, but you never hear people having a good time. It's always just parents yelling at their kids for not having a good time. Just, I spent $200 on this, you're gonna go on the ride. That's all that happens. Like, last Sunday, there was just this dad with his 4-year-old son, and he's just dragging him along in the park, and then he stops and turns around and goes, quit touching the ground, that's how you get HIV. So we both learned something new that day. And I'm really not surprised. That ground is really dirty, so. And then, really, biggest thing I learned at that job is that just teenagers are all assholes. That's all they are. Someone threw up on one of the spinny rides, so we had our cleaning staff there cleaning it up, and a group of teenagers just comes up and surrounds the janitor. And they start harassing the lady, and one boy goes, Miss, can you please not clean that up? I want to smell it one more time. I don't get teenagers. They don't show up for work. It's terrible. Have you guys ever heard a little kid utter the phrase autoerotic asphyxiation? It's fucking adorable. They can't get through it. I mean, I have a tough time doing it. I had to practice that word 6 times back there before I came up. Like, they get through autoerotic just fine, but as soon as they're trying to finish that sentence, I found my dad dead hanging from autoerotic asphyxiation. They just start bawling. They can't get through it. All right. Let's go to some happy stuff, yeah. So my parents are getting a divorce. It's easy. It's cool though. It's my stepdad and my mom, so it's easier the second time around. I can make jokes about it. I found out in kind of a weird way, though. The day I found out, I talked to my dad on the phone at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. We just talked about his favorite subjects, guns and snowmobiles. Because we're from Buffalo, New York. It's still snowing there. It's terrible up there. But then 2 hours later, that's when my mom called me, and she told me that she had already moved stuff into an apartment, and that she was filing for divorce. My mom has way too many knickknacks to move out in 2 hours. So all my dad really told me on that call was he had murder weapons and an escape plan to get out of there. I don't know. That marriage has been on the rocks for a long time, though, probably since I was a teenager. So I asked my mom, why did you decide to file for a divorce now? Why'd you wait till now? She's like, well, Jeremy, whenever I'm at home now, I feel like I'm in a jail cell. I was like, oh, that's no good. That's a good reason. But my dad's a prison guard, guys, and he hurt his back recently. I think he was just working from home and didn't tell anyone. I don't know. My parents just fought about the stupidest shit, though. There was one fight that I remember when I was a teenager. It happened at dinner time. We were eating spaghetti, and my dad got upset because my mom bought Prego, and he only eats ragu. So that was 3 weeks where we didn't have a toaster. Really, I just want to go back in time and start throwing flags like an NFL referee. I could have holding. That would be an easy one. That would just be where, my dad brings up something from last week's fight that's not pertinent to this one. False start, that would be when I was a little kid and I was asleep and I'd hear my dad get home from work and hear, right when I walk in the door, Kelly! That sort of thing. All right, I guess I'm just sounding like a little kid that wants to go back in time and save his parents' marriage. It'd be a good Disney Channel movie, though. I've been single for a little while now, and I'm starting to think that the universe is just trying to set me up. Like, it's gone on too long enough, and noticed my life is too pathetic. We got to get this going. So, got a couple different reasons. The first one is I saw a billboard the other day up on 18th Street that it has 2 dots on it, right? One says you with an extra $5, and then there's the other dot that says a homeless Denver woman. So I found out from that billboard that Denver has the cheapest prostitution in the nation. I got 1 more year on my parents' insurance, better use that wisely. I don't know, the other one, I got set up on a blind date that I didn't even know I was supposed to be on. You guys ever have this? All right. Anyways, so I was supposed to be on my buddy Glenn at Comrade Brewery down in Denver. We're gonna get dinner and meal, you know, we have a good time. And he shows up a half hour late like he usually does, but he shows up with a lady with him. And after being there for about 5 minutes, he got a call from work and he just bolted. So I was like, all right, well, I'm already out, might as well make the best of this. So I was like, oh, so how do you know Glenn? She's like, oh, I'm his mom. So that's how I got on a date with a 55-year-old woman who's a friend of mine, you know, my friend's mom. It's the best date I've had in at least 2 years. She paid for the meal. Got a second date coming up next week. I'm a little nervous about third date etiquette, though. My buddy just told me it was 2 fingers. You got to be gentle with them. Okay. Really, I just want to tell the universe now that I want a hipster girlfriend. You know, a girl that'll like me before anyone else likes me. What do you guys think is the appropriate age to know what an artichoke is? Probably like 7 or 9, right? Somewhere in there. I didn't find out what an artichoke truly was until I was 19. Now, up until that point, I thought it was a rat, like a nocturnal animal, just a little thing that scurries around, because that's what my uncle told me one Thanksgiving. This uncle is also part of the reason for the divorce, probably. Anyways, yeah, so the way I found out, I was at an Applebee's with my buddy. We were splitting the 2 for $20. He's like, hey, for the appetizer, let's get spinach artichoke dip. I was like, okay, went along with it. I went through the meal, and then afterwards I asked him, because, you know, look at me, I ate the meal. Even if it was right, it was delicious. I was like, oh, why do they put artichokes in it? Are they high in protein? And then I told him what I thought it was, and I learned that an artichoke was finally a vegetable with a heart that you could just rip out. And it tastes really good with cheese. That's about it. I'm a little disappointed with not being a rat. I don't know. Has anyone else ever broken a 10-year-old's nose with a hammer? Just something I've done? All right. All right, this is back to the amusement park. I did this back when I was 18. I was working the test your strength game, you know, where you use the hammer to try to ring the bell, that fun one. What happened was this 10-year-old boy walks up with his family, which was his mom and his grandma, and his mom gives him the money, but she pulled it from her bikini top. She was just wearing a bikini top and shorts. And you would think that'd be nice, but she would beat me in a John Candy lookalike contest, so it was not fun. And she just starts digging in there, and she finally pulls out a $10 bill, and it's blue, the same color as her bikini top. But the amusement park I used to work at back in New York, we didn't have a water park. So I don't know how that bill was wet. Well, I do know, but I'm just not happy about it. Anyways, I get that. I'm already angry. And then the boy goes up. I give him the regular kid's hammer to use, and he doesn't want to use that. He wants to use a toddler hammer. And I don't give a shit anymore. I just let him use it. And he goes and he swings as hard as he can, and the hammer just comes back and nails him right in the nose. So immediately he covers his nose and runs towards me, just lets go, and blood starts flowing right when he gets right here. And I just take a quick step back. Blood is really hard to get out of canvas shoes. I don't know. For years I thought I won that altercation, and then, you know, just because he broke his nose, and he didn't ring the bell, so I didn't have to give him a teddy bear. But, you know, now I'm just back to working the same job that I was doing there. So, not too fun. All right, let's do one more. I got evicted from my house 3 months ago, and I had to find a new place. And I only had 3 days to do that, so I had to use Craigslist. And now I live in a cult house. They're not your typical cult, though. They're not like Chuck Manson or, wait, Charles Manson, not Chuck Manson, sorry. Do you think there's anyone that calls Charles Manson Chuck Manson? There's gotta be, like some guy in the prison yard like, yo, Chuck, that new swastika edition looks good on your eye, man. Or there's like Chucky Manson's. It could be like a kid's restaurant where the Kool-Aid is really good. Anyways, the people I live with they're super, super religious to the point where no church in Denver will accept them, so they have to have the church service at the house. And they always try to get like what my religious beliefs are. And I grew up Catholic. I did the whole thing, Catholic school, altar boy, all that fun stuff. So now I'm just apathetic about it. And so One day, the oldest son who lives there, he's still 35. I'm not sure if he's autistic or just weird. He corners me when I'm doing laundry. And he asked me what I believe, and I just told him I was Catholic because that's easier. And he's like, well, did you know most of Catholicism is a lie? What would my real answer would have been? I don't know. Anyways, they keep trying to get me to join them. And the other day, the same kid, he asked me, he's like, Jeremy, do you want to play a game? And that's when I realized I live in the Saw House. But it was Settlers of Catan, and I loved that game, so I played. So it was me, that son, the dad, and then a midget, because I'm sure you guys knew the midget was already there, though, because I said it was a cult. I don't know, I won. They're not very good at that. They're not very good at logical thinking. But I've been Jeremy Peischer. Let's give it up for Anthony Armstrong and Eugene Kenny for having this. Thank you, guys.
Give it up for Jeremy. Yeah. Hey, if you don't want to date that 55-year-old lady, send her my way. I love cougars, man. Young women are too insecure. You get you like a 75, 80-year-old lady, whoo, she don't give a shit no more. She'll just take that bra off, let them titties hit the ground, spin them around, throw them in your mouth. She don't give a shit no more. She's on her way out. All righty, we are at the end of the show, and now we're going to bring up a guy, very, very funny. I really enjoy him, Mr. Bear Qualibone.
What's up, guys? Give it up for all the comics you've seen tonight. For those of you in the room that are not comics, I'm going to explain to you briefly what it's like to be a comic at this level of comedy, okay? It's kind of like dating an alcoholic. You spend endless hours a week in dive bars just trying to get 10 to 15 minutes of love. And when you don't get that love, like when you just really suck it up one night, we call that eating a dick. And sometimes it's like a small dick, like, oh, you know what, like that one joke didn't quite hit, I ate like a dick about the size of a baby carrot. And then sometimes your whole set is just kind of choppy, and it's like you had a lunch pail of dicks that night, you know what I mean? And then sometimes it falls apart so bad that, like, there was one night I could not get a joke to hit, period, and it was like I found the factory where they make the dicks. And in a Lucille Ball-esque sketch, I ate an epic amount of conveyor belt dicks. Just so many endless dicks. They were falling behind me. I was covered in them. Like, so yeah, like, all these comics did good tonight. Make sure, like, if you like them, high five them or buy them a nacho or something. Oh wait, kitchen's closed. You guys are screwed. High five them. High five all of them. You guys, when I'm not telling jokes, I am basically a 37-year-old pizza man. Let that sink in. I've been delivering pizza on and off since I was 18 years old, like a stripper. And it's a lot like being a stripper because I get paid almost exclusively in ones. And the older I get, the sadder it is. But it's also kind of like being a gynecologist. I smell crazy shit all day and people get pissed off if I try and taste any of it. I'm gonna hold out though, you guys. I've been doing this long enough that I figure the odds are in my favor, and someday I'm gonna ring that magic doorbell. And she's gonna open the door in like a swimsuit. The mixture of high-grade marijuana and Axe body spray gets her a little tingly. The tattoos on the hands say bad boy, but I'm white and I work in the suburbs, so it's still pretty legit. As soon as I follow her into the door and I break the threshold of the living room, a little voice in my head goes, "It's not a delivery, it's a porno." I'll give her a tip. She'll give me a tip. You guys, the coolest thing happened. I finally got to taste it. I don't think our sauce is that good. It's okay to laugh, sir. That's a pizza joke. The closest I've come to this, I delivered pizza in North Aurora on East Colfax. And there's a hotel at Colfax and Chambers. And on the second floor is a really nice, really short, really fat hooker. She has a thing for fried foods, and she tips well, so I'm not going to judge her. One day I'm walking up to her apartment, and I have 2 18-inch 5-meat pizzas and 2 pounds of wings, okay? I knock on the door of this little apartment, and she yells, "Come in, the money's on the table." I open the door to a room about the size of this stage, okay? And this short, fat stripper's on all fours in the middle of the room getting plowed by a guy about 50 pounds heavier than me. It was kind of like watching a hot dog fuck a hamburger. And as soon as I hit the door, this guy's going. He doesn't stop. I'm over here. The money's over here. There's a never-ending ass obstacle like a fucking Mario Brothers game. I have to time it, and I'm starting to gag because the room smells like hate sex and pork products. I get across and I get the money, and the ass is still going. I don't even count the money. I just put the food down and I make my break for it, and right as I'm about to hit the door, he stops and he goes, "Hey man, I paid for the whole hour. You want to split the last 20 minutes? You cannot smoke enough weed to unsee that. Especially if you have another delivery in your car." So the next time your pizza boy shows up stoned and disoriented, as long as your food's hot, you tip him. You do not know what he has been through. Some of us have PTSD issues now. I also once delivered a pizza to 2 lesbians wearing strap-ons with 60-inch plasma DVD fucking porn going. That's all these lesbians were wearing, just strap-ons. So, cut your pizza boy a break, okay? You don't know what weirdos put us through. And when gas is more than $2 a gallon, $3 isn't a good tip. That's not a joke. That's like a public service announcement. You guys, being a pizza boy is part of that get-rich-never plan. And I look like this. I masturbate a lot. 2, 4, 12 times a night. They say it takes 10,000 hours to perfect a skill, okay? Every man in this room has been jerking off since they were at least 13. I figure I hit that 10,000 hours by the time I was 17. By the time I was 21 and started getting laid, I was like a journeyman masturbator, okay? I've put in the fucking man hours. I'm like a fucking professional. I have a lab coat that's all white and stiff in the front. Knowing that I've achieved this level of perfection, women, if you try and give a guy a hand job, we endlessly appreciate the effort, okay? Go team. But it's like when I load the dishwasher wrong. As soon as I step away and think everything's gravy, you're just gonna go and do it all over again. So the one tip that I will give you, if you want to give a really good hand job, use your mouth. Seriously, it is the one thing that we can't do for ourselves. And I think that kind of disproves evolution, because I can't be the first guy to try. Maybe the neck should be longer, or the lips would stretch better or something. I know some of you are thinking, "Oh, that's gross. Why would you put your own dick in your mouth?" It's not gross, it's like masturbation. It's my dick. I know exactly where it's been. I have a detailed history of all of its incidents. Honestly, I'd feel safer putting my dick in my mouth than my thumb in my mouth. But every time I hit my thumb with a fucking hammer, that's the first place it goes till I can find ice. You guys, when you jerk off that much, do you ever jerk off so much that you chafe? And then you're like, oh, lotion will take care of that. And you pay attention to the lotion you grab, and it's got like a fragrance or something in it that causes a burning sensation. So then it's like a race against time. Can I come before I hurt too much to keep going? Like, you guys, I watch a lot of porn because I jerk off a lot. And I feel if I've learned anything from porn, it's that women love to be ejaculated on. Like 10 million pornos can't be wrong, okay? And my favorite way, I'm going to share this with the world over time, my favorite way to ejaculate on a woman, when you first get hard, and you've got that little bit of pre-cum on the tip of your dick, you get it with your thumb, and you get it right in the forehead like Simba. Amazing, right? Half of you laughed, and someone in the back now has a ruined childhood. Guess what? I got another Disney joke. Let's see how far we can go with it. You guys, I've been a parent for like 11 fucking years, and I just learned that Disney World has a fucking swingers park in the center of it called Pleasure Island. I'm telling you, Disney World has a swingers club in it called Pleasure Island. Let that sink in, you guys. My biggest fetish since I've been old enough to masturbate would be to go to California and bang the chicks that play Disney princesses. I want to start with like a Belle. I got a thing for brunettes, and I think it's an easy request, okay? After that, I'm thinking probably Mulan. Asian chicks are hot, and if it lasts long enough to get weird, she'll pretend to be a boy for a while. And then I'm thinking to cap it all off, because 3 in one night, that's kind of a stretch, you guys. If I haven't been kicked out yet, I'm going for Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Not because, like, mermaids do anything for me. Fish parts are kind of gross. But I have kids. I've seen the first movie. If you guys remember right, when she's on land and she has legs, she can't fucking talk. Right? I'm gonna give one more piece of advice to the ladies, and then I'm gonna get back to my usual dick jokes, okay? Ladies, if you're single, or you know you're gonna be single, because you all fucking know, and you got a fat guy that can make you laugh, give him one shot. Just one crack at that ass. That guy will do anything possible to get that second shot. And every fat guy in this bar, I guarantee it, eats fucking pussy. You guys, I eat pussy like I eat cupcakes. And I fucking love cupcakes. Do I look like the type of guy that fucks around when it comes to cupcakes? You guys, eating pussy and eating cupcakes are the same in, like, okay, if you're really into it, you're really doing it right, you're gonna have to wash from your eyebrows to your jawline when you're done. Right? You guys, I stand before you, a 275-pound man, down from over 600 pounds over like 7 years. Thank you, thank you. You'd think that something like that would help a guy get laid, right? I still have the skin of a 600-pound man. Scientifically, I'm like 4.5 pounds of shit in a 10-pound bag. When I get naked, you guys, I'm just shy of a 300-pound basset hound puppy. Like, I'm really excited. There's excess skin flopping around. There's a pretty good chance I'm drooling more than I should be. But I promise it'll be worth it. Give a fat guy a chance. They'll appreciate it. And you know they can either afford food or they can cook. Can I bitch about the internet for a second, you guys? I hate the term Facebook stalker. I think that shit's fucking lazy. Anyone can sit behind a computer and click on pictures. Real stalkers know how to climb trees. We keep ladders close by. You guys, I met this chick on the internet a while back. She was selling a fish tank that I didn't buy, but I remember when I was there looking at it, her and her boyfriend were fighting. So I thought maybe there's gonna be a chance, right? House across the street's empty. No one lives in it. So I set up camp on the roof for like 2 weeks and get to know this woman, right? She handled her breakup well. There was an excess amount of Ben & Jerry's consumed. You guys, a real stalker knows not only what day your trash comes out, but how long he has before the trash guy gets there. And you can learn a lot from a woman's trash, you guys. Me and her, we used the same mouthwash. I like the way her shampoo tastes. There's an excessive amount of toenail clippings. I give it hell, you guys. I get brave, I get a haircut, I put on nice clothes, and I ring the doorbell, right? She opens the door kind of aggravated and looks at me like, what the fuck do you want? And I'm like, ma'am, does this smell like chloroform? You guys, you can't let people drop. That's how people get bruised. I'm kidding, I'd never do that. I don't even know where to get chloroform. Trying to figure out what I want to tell you next. Do you guys want to hear about the time I saw an elephant have an orgasm or the time I kicked a midget while I was on mushrooms? Midget. I heard midget first, here we go. You guys, I grew up about a 45-minute bus ride away from downtown Denver, okay? And I figured out that I enjoyed mushrooms at the ripe young age of 17. And anyone else that's ever enjoyed mushrooms knows that it's about a 45-minute window from consumption to when good mushrooms start to kick in. Ideal for a 45-minute bus ride, right? I get downtown, I'm enjoying my mushrooms for about an hour and a half at this point. I am tripping balls, you guys. And from out of nowhere, I see it about a block down. And there's this midget. Now, normally I don't have a problem, but I'm on drugs, you guys. I'll make a confession. I'm afraid of midgets. Their appendages are not proportionate to their torsos, and it freaks me out. I've had an issue with midgets ever since I was a kid, and I saw the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka movie. Because there was that many midgets then. They didn't reproduce it like for the new one. They painted a lot of midgets orange to pull off the Oompa Loompas. And I've always had a fear that they were coming after me because I was a smart-ass kid. You know what? Don't judge me. Elephants are afraid of mice. Fuck you guys. So this midget's about a half a block away, and he sees me. And now he gets excited because I'm probably the biggest thing he's seen all day. And he starts coming to me, and I stop my friends. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. He gets closer, and I'm like, you stop. Don't fucking do anything. And my friends don't understand why I'm yelling at this midget because we're all tripping, you guys. I'm like, don't fucking come any closer. And the midget gets about 10 yards away, and I'm like, dude, do not come closer. And he's like, oh, man, pick me up. Put me on your shoulders, man. Let me see the world from your view. And he gets about 3 feet away, and I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm going to do something. And he kept coming, so I hauled back. I kicked him. And I caught him right under the jaw. And he went about 3 feet up, and he went about 3 feet down. And the trails arced a rainbow of destruction as he collapsed onto the sidewalk, and my mind shattered because I am tripping balls. I turn around, and I run like hell for about a half a block because I'm fat as fuck and I don't run well. And I cut down an alley, and I crouch next to a dumpster in what I can only assume is urine. And I'm shaking like a baby, and I'm so scared. And out of the corner of my eye pops a homeless man, and he goes, what's the matter with you, young blood? And I was like, man, I'm on drugs, and I think I just killed a midget. And he goes, you know what, man? Fuck that midget. And I stood up all brave and trying to be like, yeah, man, fuck that midget. And I slammed my fist down on the dumpster. And about 3 seconds later, the dumpster lid comes flying open, and a woman is jumping up, apologizing, like, I'm so sorry. And then a guy is jumping up, grabbing his groin, and just being like, no! Yeah, I'll give you a second. It took me a minute. That guy was getting a blowjob in that dumpster. And when I smashed my arm down and yelled, yeah, fuck that midget, she bit his penis. And he's standing there holding his mangled junk. And she's standing there like this, not knowing what to do. And I'm looking at this guy, and this homeless guy goes, man, that's fucked up. And the guy with the bent penis is like, don't judge me. You have no right to judge me. And I've realized I've already judged this guy like 50 times in my head. And it didn't strike me till like 10 years later what the most fucked up part of that was is that guy got a blowjob in a dumpster, and I can't even get a blowjob in my Camry. All right, you guys, I'm going to give you one more story, and then we get out of here so you can get on with your night, all right? I'm an adult. I've lost a substantial amount of weight, mostly by quitting drinking soda and eating at restaurants and drive-through windows, people. We all know it's bad for us. Don't fool yourselves. I decided I wanted to have a more scientific approach, though. I'm gonna be an adult. I'm going to go see a doctor, a trained professional, someone with a med school and a debt to back it up. And doctors make me nervous, so I smoke like 2 fat-ass blunts in the parking lot. I get inside, and there is this smoking hot nurse. And it is her job to talk to me for the next 20 minutes, you guys. She's got like rainbow-colored hair and really nice cleavage poking out of the top of her scrubs. And you can see tattoos poking out of the bottom of the sleeves. Like, it's just nice, round ass. It's perfect, right? You guys, she has to talk to me. I have like a quarter of a boner just knowing this woman exists, okay? She puts the blood pressure cuff on me, and she leans in and she's like, Jesus, you reek of weed. And I'm like, yeah, but does that excite you? She goes, I'm a little jealous. I was like, yes, that's my end. If I can convince her to smoke with me later, I've got a 50-50 shot, you guys. Boom, half a heart on. The nurse is now aware that I'm into her like this, because I'm giggling and I'm drooling a little bit, so she's like shaking her ass more and showing me more cleavage. I'm wondering if there's a big tree on her block, you know what I mean? Like, let's take this to the next level. She's flirting. I've got probably about 3/4 of a hard on at this point, and the doctor comes in and he goes, all right, let's get this show on the road. Goes to shush the nurse out. The nurse stands behind the doctor and looks at me and goes, Boom, full-blown hard-on, guys.
Wow.
And then the doctor looks me dead in the eye and goes, all right, man, let's get the hard shirt over with first. Go ahead and drop your trousers. So I'm high. We've got a hard-on. And this man wants me to take my pants off for medical reasons. I'm an adult and I can do this, right? I unzip my pants. I undo my belt. I drop my trousers. I close my eyes and I go to a happy place. The doctor cups my sack. And as I'm running my fingers through his hair, I instantly grab the tip and I get him on the forehead like Simba. You guys, I've been Bear Quattlebaum. Thanks for supporting local comedy.
Hey man, give it up for Bear. Give it up for Bear. God damn, Bear, your tall ass. I don't know if you guys noticed, but some more black people came in. It's one of the main reasons I left Chicago. Couldn't watch a goddamn movie. Hey, tonight has been great. I gotta say thank you to Ari's Tavern. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having comedy night. It means so much to us comics to have a place to do our thing at. Thank you for coming out and watching us do our thing. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. So beautiful. Give all the comics a round of applause. All right. And you guys have a great night. Thank you.